I really think this should be the tipping point. Now, what the hell am I talking about? Well, you see, there was this kid in school who literally got killed by his bullies right in school. I'm not talking about bullied to the point of suicide, which is shit too. I'm talking about straight up killed by the bullies. No joke. They basically beat him to death. You know, it's really shit. It seems like it's gone from the bullies bully you to the bullies bully you to the point of suicide to the bullies straight up murder you. It's like, I'm sorry if I'm not, I'm sorry if I'm being cringe right now or I'm not covering the subject properly, but I'm just really pissed that you have all this bullying going on. God, I'm getting sick of having to say that word. The issue should be dealt with. This issue as a whole should be dealt with, but it's not. Anyways, I'm gonna try to say what I have to say. Okay. You see, if the school just won't, this is gonna sound, what I'm about to say is gonna sound like, might sound like shit, okay? It might sound like victim blaming. I don't want it to be victim blaming. I hope to goodness it's not victim blaming, but whatever it is, I gotta say it. If your kid is being bullied, especially severely, it's time to take him out of that school. Now, I already made a video of this, and I think I might have made a second video that hasn't been posted yet, whatever. Anyways, you can see that. In like the description. If your kid is being bullied, and the school clearly won't do shadizzle about it, it's just time to take him out. I mean, I'm sorry, but you can't risk your kid dying of all things, especially to bullying. You can't. It's an absolute imperative to take your kid out of your school. Out of that school, if they're being bullied to that point or even being bullied at all. It's like, okay, it's like school officials are supposed to run the damn school. They're supposed to make sure people don't do bad things, and if people do bad things, they get punished and the bad thing gets stopped. But if they won't do that shit, it's time to say auf Wiedersehen to that school. That's I think that's German for goodbye. It's time to say auf Wiedersehen to that school. Never look back and just take the kids out. I mean, it's a tragedy when an innocent person dies, especially due to this of all things. I mean, beaten in school by bullies to death. That's not cool. And I said earlier, I think this is the tipping point, or this is the tipping point, whatever. What this is the tipping point of is people should start taking their kids out of public school en masse. I'm serious. I'm not fucking kidding. If you have kids dying due to bullies, not even going way beyond the bully to suicide part, just the bullies straight up kill your kid, you can't have your kid be there. Now, back to the possible victim blame thing, I'm really not trying to victim blame here. I really don't want to do that. It's wrong to victim blame. That's why it's called victim blaming, is because you're blaming someone that's been victimized and doesn't deserve to be blamed, and you're blaming them. I do have to say, I think parents really need to think a bit more and just take their kids out of school when this bullying incident happens. I mean, like parents that kids who've committed suicide to this, I think they should have taken their kid out of school to prevent that from happening. I'm sorry to say that. It's painful. I don't think I'd ever say that directly to their face. Directly that you should have taken your kid out of school so this wouldn't have happened. Or do you think there's anything you should have done differently? Or you should take your kid out. I don't think I could ever bring myself to say that. Because chances are they already know what they should have done, hindsight bias-wise, post-ignorance-wise. Unfortunately, it's too late, but chances are they know now what they should have done. And fuck, they just are. Those words would do more harm than good. Would hit even harder. You know, the whole "you should have" or "this what could have been done." Yeah, well, if it's too late, I don't think that's a good thing to even say. Even if it is technically true that they could have done this, they could have done that. Plus, if you want to get into pragmatics, they probably attack you for saying that. Like, what could have you done? Yeah, not a good idea. Anyways, but I do acknowledge that in this world, unfortunately, due to all the bad fucking people in it, sometimes you just gotta fight tooth and nail for what matters. Yourself, your children, others you care about. And you can't afford to, like, skimp on doing that. If you can do something, do something. Like, take your kid out of school if you can. If you can't, you might have to make it so you can or you do it anyway, because the state is essentially making kids go to, you know, a prison or maybe even a death camp, whatever you call it, if bullies are killing the kids. I mean, that's endangerment. That's forced endangerment. I mean, they're making kids go to school, do the truancy laws, and they're getting killed for it. And I don't think that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen, period. And I hope I'm not repeating myself here, but I feel like I got a lot to cover, whether it be content or in severity, whatever, both. Because you don't prevent this from happening or stop it from happening or whatever, make it happen less, by just keeping your kids going to public school. Public school is part of the damn problem. It's a large part of the damn problem. Because public school doesn't really have that much incentive to do anything about bullying, and it's an authoritarian, toxic environment. Of course there's going to be bullying in that, of all places. Authoritarian, toxic. It'd be surprising if there wasn't bullying in school. I'm sorry, this sucks. It sucks. I mean, but you gotta do what you gotta do and stop sending your kids to these places. I mean, if truancy officers come and try to take your kid away, like CPS, I'm not quite sure what to do with that, like whether it be an armed uprising or you just sue it in court. I don't know. But either way, you at least, as a given, gotta take your kid out of school because they're not doing well there. In fact, you know, just sometimes they even do so poorly they die, as evidenced by this kid. And I just have to say, it's just getting worse. Like, the government just doesn't care. They don't care about the students. They don't care about the parents of the students. They don't care about the community. They don't care, period. All they care about is the fucking money and power that making kids go to school gives them. That's all they care about. It's not about making sure schools are safe or making sure schools are educational, of all things, which they aren't. They're mainly indoctrination camps, as I stated one way or another before. It's not about that. It's just about salary and tenure and school attendance, profit, you know, that's all it's about. So if the government isn't about caring about you or helping you, then you should just fucking leave. I mean, you should just leave. No, I should. God, when I said fucking, that kind of implies it's your fault. I apologize. You should just leave. Maybe. Well, fucking freaking. I just meant. When I said that, I meant, you know, I meant it in a way that you have no obligation to stay. Like, you really have no obligation to stay. You fucking have no obligation to stay. Or you have no fucking obligation to stay. You know, that's what I meant by it. I don't mean to, like, blame the victims or anybody, but you do have to take this into your command and do something about it your own way, like not take your kids to school anymore. Because schools, they don't want to change. The faculty doesn't want to make things safer, otherwise this shit wouldn't keep happening. The school board doesn't want to make things safer, or this shit wouldn't keep happening. Since this shit keeps happening, that's pretty evident that they don't care. And I heard these kids just got freaking community service and anger rehabilitation as a punishment for killing this kid. They didn't get any jail time. They got fucking community service and anger management classes. Sorry. Fucking coughing. So, if the school doesn't care to stop bullying or even punish the bullying after the fact, then they don't fucking deserve to be attended to. They don't. You're not entitled to my child's attendance. Speaking from the, you meaning us perspective, since I don't really have kids. They don't. You're not entitled to kids attending your school. I mean, come on. You're not. You're not entitled to have school attendance funding or tenure, whatever. Kids should want to go to school, and it should be safe, and it should be voluntary, but the schools aren't keeping things voluntary. And so, since nothing about public school is really all that voluntary and really pretty fucking dangerous, it's time people just flat out say, no, I'm not sending my kid to your fucking school where you don't keep people safe. They ain't going there, they're out, we're out. That's what it has to take, or at least start taking, to keep people safe from bullies or public school or whatever. Is you just gotta take them out. I mean, they don't, if they, I keep stammering going, that's, unfortunately, this is what it takes for bad people to, like, at least have a remote chance of stopping being bad, is to have consequences. Like, we're not gonna fund you anymore. We're gonna abstain from you. We're not gonna want anything to do with you. That's what it takes. Or at least could take, remotely at least, to get bad people to stop being bad, to get school boards to stop being bad, to get faculty to stop being bad. You gotta just fucking leave at least. To get them to learn their lesson. Oh wow, we didn't keep school safe. We didn't make sure the bullies got stopped and punished and rehabilitated. We didn't make sure the victims weren't attacked, and if they were attacked, we didn't make sure to try and heal them up afterwards. We just said, all that matters is that you guys are all in this damn building, and whatever happens, happens. But now we no longer have anyone attending our schools, and we're no longer really getting any money for attendance because, hey, they left because we were a bunch of neglectful assholes. We were a bunch of neglectful, apathetic assholes, and now we don't have a school anymore. Or now we don't have attendance anymore. I mean, that's what it takes, is natural consequence to get bad people to stop. Not protesting, not suing, not speaking your mind. You gotta, just up and get out of there at the very least, to show the school system, if you don't keep our students safe, we don't fucking go, they don't fucking go, nobody fucking goes. I mean, that's what it's gonna take. I hate that I wish school boards and school officials could just fucking do their jobs and not have to be told they have to do their jobs. Fuck, I hate this. I was bullied in middle school, well, all of school, public school really, but, middle school, just focusing on that right now. I was bullied in front of the teacher's desk, right in front of the fucking teacher, and he didn't do anything about it. They took my stuff. I grabbed them back. I actually had the balls to grab them back. I didn't grab my pencil back from that asswipe at Schreier or something. Whatever. He didn't do anything. He saw me struggling to grab him. I'm trying to grab him back. My stuff back from the bullies. And he didn't care. And I even outright kind of confronted him about this. I said, aren't teachers supposed to do something about bullying? He didn't he said it wasn't their responsibility. He straight up said it wasn't their responsibility. It wasn't his responsibility to do anything about it. Yeah. He straight up. So Mr. Kelly, yeah, that's right. There's what's going. He straight up doesn't care. He straight up didn't care. He probably doesn't care to this day if he's still a teacher. He probably will never care. So I mean, if teachers outright tell you it's not their job to do anything about bullying or any other similar indicator, that they're not going to do anything about bullying, it's time to take your kid out of there. You know, because if they don't care about protecting the students, why should the students even care about going there? I mean, sorry if I'm rambling or just repeating myself, going around in circles, but I need to cover as much shit as I can cover to deal with the situation, to try and make things better. At least I gotta at least speak my mind as always, to try and get the word out for people to do the right thing, to at least have a plan, for at least people to know what's what, in order to know how to fight, in order to know how to go from there. You have to know what's what in order to know where to go next when it comes to fighting against injustice. You gotta actually know what's unjust and what isn't, and what really is just. So that's why I make these videos, you know. I want to help educate people on what's just, and for them and I to actually fight for it. Right now, all I can really do is make these damn videos, but if that helps, I'm gonna keep doing it. So, yeah, sucks. Diego Stoves is the name of the kid that got murdered by the bullies. I'm really sorry that happened to him. It just, the shit shouldn't happen. It happens. I really hate having to announce it to the world that this shit happened and that something needs to be done about it, or at least done to prevent it. I hate it. I don't want this shit to keep happening. It does. It's still well to a degree. I know that, but I don't want it to happen anymore because it sucks when you have all this violence, unjust violence, especially if it could have been prevented. So that's what I have to say. It sucks, all this crap. This crap all sucks, but that's the way it is. And since that's the way it is, that's what people have to do. That's what people have to fix. So I guess that's it.